whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. You are tuning in to Random Topic Sundays, the weekend wrap up, only on channel gboot2786 on Gavin Richard on my YouTube channels, as well as on Periscope if you're watching via Twitter, Gavin Rich 2786, and of course Facebook. We're also present there. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Tonight on our show, we will discuss the following topics, including but not limited to: Time's Up goes up in smoke, fighting fear propaganda, how to multitask, and Russell Westbrook embraces his Bussy. Now, yeah, that was a unique one. If you would like to support me, you can please donate to the Cash App. As you see at the links at the bottom, Gavin Richard Esquire, Google Pay, PayPal, and Zelle. If you like to advertise, if you saw my advertisement link earlier, you can hit me up on gavin.grich1@gmail.com, as well as the Patreon. If you would like to support me in making exclusive content, I'll debut and put my podcast on there. I think I'll do one later between tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to upload, definitely get back to Anchor and putting my podcast out for everybody. So I'll have that available too. In the meantime, guys, if you'd like to support me, also I have my spice company, Nonny'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonny's goes great with every dish. We also have my song, Before We Get Down, we always got to get on up. Of course, I want to play that later, but you can check out Video Soul, which is a new release that I did as an instrumental. I'm going to play that for you all in a little bit, although I'll likely get a copy strike for that as well, even though it's my own song. But before we get on down, we got to get on up. So I would like for you all to please, if you have not, go to iTunes, buy Gotta Get On Up. It's my moniker. I'll put it right here as I share the screen. My name is G Rich on here. That's the name of the actual single, Gotta Get On Up. And I have the 2 songs that are available here that you all could check out. So doing multitask, doing different things. So if you guys, we're going to play that in a little bit. But as this is my intro, I want to go ahead and get this started. So let us begin, shall we?
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, and as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get all up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the full chorus. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get all that and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll feel the groove. Get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Baby, feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Gotta get on up. All right, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Gavin Reshaw Presents. That's available. Gotta Get On Up is available on iTunes as well as Video Soul. Video Soul is the latest single I did. It's a pure instrumental. I don't have it as a any lyrics to it, but you all are welcome to, of course, download, play it if you want, stream it. It's good when you can actually go out and buy the tunes, obviously, but I'll play a little bit of it for you all, or I'll play it here in a little bit, probably when I wait before we leave. I'll get back on it. But Video Soul is my brand new single that I have here. Matter of fact, let me just play it right now. It's just a 3-minute track. Don't worry, there's a breakdown in it later. like a video game vibe. That's why I call it video soul. Yeah, you gotta go buy it. You gotta go buy it though, Cheryl. It's important people will buy my stuff because I'm gonna tell you about the streaming business. And I guess that's a way to segue into my first topic is talk about how to multitask. Because I was asked by a brother, computer robots, wondering about how I'm able to do all of this stuff. All I can say is just sheer determination. Sheer determination, just will, prayer, and bear. Just sheer determination and prayer. I just am pushing myself to do shit. Pushing myself to do the stuff that I want. I've learned when you rely on other people, when you are relying on someone who may not have the same mindset and goals as you want, then you're not going to get that far. Uh, part of that too, especially you got in order to start these businesses, especially like I have a seasoning company and I have obviously stuff I'm doing with music. I'm here with Patreon. I'm here doing live stream. It also takes time and patience because you have to deal with you're going to get a lot of no's before you get yeses. So I've been trying to segue creating my own way this last couple of years to build myself up, and on top of that, I'm doing this with my own law practice. Now with COVID and also with the hurricane, things have slowed down, but I'm still working, I still work, so I have time to do that, that keeps my lights on. And in the meantime, I'm still trying to build this brand up. So, I do a lot of just trying to make time for it. Like if I come here Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays with y'all, I'm taking at least at best an hour out of my day to be with you guys. And then on top of that, working on the book that I have, those that saw the video cover, what I'm going to do, you all saw the cover for the new book that I have that I'm proud to announce that's coming out on the Bill Cosby case. And I'll share that with y'all in a second out for those that didn't, because I'm going to eventually do a trailer for it. Sometime I'm working on that. I've been stretching myself out. It gets to me from time to time. I won't lie to you because it is hard when you have, especially other obligations. And what happened the past couple of weeks with Hurricane Ida, it's taken a lot out. But I've been working, editing this book for the last, I stayed up till 2 o'clock this morning. I'll probably pass that working on editing the book, making sure my references were in order, making sure that I was everything was correct. Thank you very much. But say a prayer and do something for our sister Daniel Meyer because she lived out. See, I'm fine. I made out okay with the storm, other than a little roof damage. But I know Hurricane Ida directly impacted the Lafourche Parish area where Danielle is, and Thibodaux, which is out there where she's from. I've been there lots of times. That's actually where Rouse's is headquartered. I'm trying to get my product in there. I'm trying to get my products everywhere, but I know they got damaged real bad. You guys got hit directly by the hurricane. You were in the eye of the storm, as was Houma, Louisiana. See, I've gone down Highway 90, so I know how to get to Thibodaux and Lafourche Parish, and Houma, which is in Terrebonne. They actually got tore up worse. So shout out to them, prayers to them. I'm hoping you guys, you still don't have power in your area. Yeah, it's bad. It's interesting too, because even here in New Orleans, there are people who are still without power. I think in some places they don't have cable. It was just reported earlier. I saw on, let me see if I can pull that up. All right, I don't want to, no, hold on a second, guys. 1 second. A lot of people were upset and are leaving Cox Communications because their internet has not been restored. There are people that, yeah, I saw and read, there were people who are frustrated with their with Cox because they haven't restored power or restored their cable, uh, as you know, and it's been at least 2-3 weeks since Hurricane Ida has passed. I mean, this was 2 weeks ago, so a lot of people are still upset about their cable and service being down. I was trying to find that article. I was reading it last night, but people were quitting Cox over the lack of restoration of their bill, of their service. And this is even in, I think, in parts of the French Quarter that this was happening. I was reading an article yesterday uh, about it. People were upset. They don't have an estimate restoration. Even as far as Baton Rouge, they're having trouble with restoration. And Baton Rouge, yeah, I remember when Hurricane Ida struck Baton Rouge. It went through Baton Rouge as well, but you know, Baton Rouge
internet.
is a little bit
And 1 week
further
after the storm,
inland.
many are still without connection. Cox says that they lost nearly 40 miles of damage in the greater Baton Rouge area, but now a crew of more than 500 from all over the country is working to restore service. Cox says the biggest setback to getting the customers back online was the lack of power and damage to power poles. Much of their equipment runs on consumer power, so they had to wait for power companies to repair damage before they could reattach their equipment. Cam Johnson with Cox says despite the obstacles, they have had considerable progress.
We have crews from across the country to get everybody reconnected as quickly as possible. We are at approximately 90% of our customers reconnected in the greater Baton Rouge area, which really only a week and a half almost out from a major hurricane. It's really significant.
A question in many customers' minds is their bill. Johnson says a proactive credit will be applied to any customer's account, and late fees are being waived for anyone who is out of service for 7 days or longer. And Johnson is also asking that if you are piling up debris curbside, to make sure you keep it a few feet away from any above-ground utilities. Reporting live from Cox, Zach Labe, NBC Local 33 News.
I don't know if, to answer your question, Kid Gravity, what's up, man? What's up, King? What's up, Bernard? I don't think that. So you're in Point Coupe, yeah. That's a pretty far ways. Point Coupe is outside West Baton Rouge, so I know where that is. I've had some cases up there as well. But yeah, but no, Cox is not the. In the small towns, I believe they may have AT&T that may offer service, but AT&T compared to Cox, as far as its internet, is not good. You know, AT&T even screwed up during this storm because they were actually having issues. People couldn't call out with AT&T, but Verizon's phone service was working completely good throughout the whole storm. Didn't let up at once. And these were the same problems that they had with Katrina. I remember when Katrina happened, you couldn't call, you couldn't text, the towers were all down. You couldn't get in touch with anybody. Even after Katrina, even with other storms that we had. It's like AT&T, for all the for all the money that they make, the mergers that they have, you would think that they could fix their towers and actually upgrade them with Verizon. AT&T service is not faster than Cox, though. I know that for a fact. Kid Gravity. Their television and their internet is not faster than Cox Communications. Cox is the main one out here. I know. I don't think DirecTV does internet. They just do straight satellite, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, y'all donate and give something to our sister Danielle. That's her Cash App. Give her a little something since she's actually relocated to Point Coupe. She's evacuated her home. So y'all, if y'all could, I want y'all to donate something to her if you can. And I'll certainly hit you up later, Danielle. But yeah, but that's the thing with multitasking. As I'm getting back to what I was talking about, because my topic was, yeah, AT&T, I believe, owns DirecTV now. All these damn mergers, man. But that's how you multitask. It's sheer determination, planning stuff out when you're going to do it, and making sure you allow time for yourself a little bit. Because I've just been, traditionally, and especially what's going on in the last week, I've just been inside the whole time because everything right now is shut down. The movie theaters and are not operating, at least not around me. You don't have, some of the shopping malls are closed, some are open, but there are certain times and hours you have to go into. Like in Slidell, I believe. Slidell got a lot of damage, but they had everything by their fingertips that they wanted. Yeah, Danielle, AT&T has been horrible. But yeah, but that's how you multitask. You plan ahead. What is it that I'm going to do? What is it I'm going to do? How I'm going to do it? I'm going to go ahead and do this few days. I'm going to go ahead and make contacts with people, especially what I'm trying to do in the music business now. What I've been trying to do basically is work through social media. That's been a blessing because it's connected you with other people who you may not, even though it's still hard to get in touch with them because they may not know who you are. And I'm sure they get solicitations all the time. You're trying to get your foot in the door. And unfortunately, that's just the way things are. But for other people that want to get in the mainstream. But until then, what I am doing, and really what I'm trying to do, is build something for myself. I don't want to get my foot in the door. I want to own the damn house. I don't know. Ask Danielle if she has anywhere else. If she has a PayPal, if she has a Google Pay or Zelle, perhaps that might be a way to donate to her directly. But that's what you do when that's what I've been doing as far as multitasking. So what else I wanted to discuss, ladies and gentlemen, is fighting fear propaganda. Now, yesterday, I didn't do a show, but I thought about doing one. But yesterday was, of course, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And I remember where I was, and I told the story on Thursday about where I was, what happened, and I got to be careful even with my words. Because apparently if you say something that's close to, that they think may be even close to misinformation or what they think is misinformation, and this is what actually feeds the people who do not trust you all on YouTube and actually it does a disservice to YouTube by even censoring people, because what you're essentially doing is taking away people's First Amendment rights. You can't comment on the jab. You can't comment on 9/11. You can't comment on JFK. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, you're preaching hate speech if you're saying you're against this and not in line with our agenda. what you're essentially doing is trying to make other people think how you want them to think, and not a diverse, not what you're going for, which is diversity. Diversity, by its definition, means differences. Even General Patton said if everybody thinks the same thing, something is wrong. So, yeah, I saw he did a live stream about controlling populations through fear. I can tell you, I remember where, I told everybody where I was with 9/11. I was 15 years old at the time. I was at St. Aug High School, and I remember walking through the hallway, and one of our classmates saying, "Somebody bombed the World Trade Center. The World Trade Center's been bombed." That's the first thing I remember. We got into school. We said, normally when we start classes, we always start, being a parochial school, we started with prayer. And Father Henry Davis told us that we learned that a plane crashed into the building of the one of the World Trade Centers, the Twin Towers. And what I remember distinctly with that, he turns the TV on, and I saw the replay of the planes hit. Then I saw, we turned off the TV, going to lesson. Father Henry steps out. And then we saw, he comes back and tells us that another plane has flown into another building, the Twin Tower, the second Twin Tower. It was really Tower 2 that was hit first, and then Tower 1 was hit last. It was the second one. We understand that a plane has crashed through there. So we saw this live on TV. And when you saw it, it was like watching a movie. Exactly, watching a movie that was taking place. And I realized, well, once it's an accident, but if you have a second one, that means something is wrong. So I knew, we're under attack. Because then after that, as our class ended, I went into, I think we were going into, I want to say it was Coach Bell's class. I could be wrong. I forgot what that class was, but we didn't do any lesson. We didn't do anything. We just watched this. And we turned on the TV. The TV was already on. We learned the Pentagon had been hit. So I never forgot that. And let me just show you this picture. Here. Now, what I was talking about earlier, remember the Pentagon? That's pictures of the Pentagon after it was hit by a plane, the jetliner, supposedly. And then I heard about United 93 crashing, I believe, out there in Pennsylvania. And so I remember when all that stuff took place. And then in school, we didn't do anything else that Tuesday. It was like you thought the world was going to end. My grandparents lived through Pearl Harbor. Both of my grandfathers were drafted into World War II. My dad's dad, my paternal grandfather, served in the Navy. His brother served in the Army Air Force. Army Air Corps, as it was called. My mom's father, my papa, well, they both were my papas, but my grandfather, he served in the Army as well as his brothers. All of his brothers served in the Army during World War II. He rose to the rank of as a staff sergeant, and has a host of medals. I've shown that to you before. I've talked about my grandfather, Arthur Duplessis, and my other grandfather, Anatole Richard. and they served this country with honor. So I remember, them telling me about, how they got in the war, really just being drafted. And when Pearl Harbor happened, all able-bodied males, you register for the selective service when you're 18. They were in their early 20s when they got their call. So they went and served their country. I, of course, in looking at that, we learned, and getting to fighting fear propaganda, because of this wrong that happened to us with 9/11, remember that we gave up a lot of our rights, and this is something that people forget. 9/11 was a catalyst for a lot of things, because as a result of it, our airports, how we go into the airport changed. The TSA, how they're more strict with searching our belongings, searching our persons. We have, to the point where even people have claimed to be sexually assaulted by TSA agents. People get those claims all the time. I mean, you hate to even go through, everybody knows this, you do not like going through an airport. Most people do not like going through the airport. Why? On long lines, you're talking about dealing with TSA agents, some of whom are not the best at customer service. I know, because I've had that experience. And when we had 9/11 happen, we gave up a lot of our rights with things like the Patriot Act, which was the catalyst for all of that. The Patriot Act is what was responsible for subjecting us in these airports, especially to stricter security. We've been subjected to unreasonable searches and seizures of the Fourth Amendment, but we voluntarily gave that up. We went to war as a result of 9/11. 9/11 so it's on September 11th, and it's not a coincidence that September 11th, I think that day was picked. 11 has is something to remember. September, remember, like the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Do you remember when it was September? Papa was a Rolling Stone. It was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. 'Cause that was the day that my daddy died. See, we're in the ember months now. We're in September, then you have October. So not even a month after, well, about a month, a little over a month, did you have the Patriot Act. And it expanded surveillance, communication with federal agencies. It just increased things, made stricter penalties for terrorist crimes. All of that changed. I remember when they had terror alerts. Remember, it used to come on like the damn weather. What is our terrorist rating? Whether it was orange, whether it was level 11. The Homeland Security Advisory System that was created in 2002. Y'all remember this? They created this system. Department of Homeland Security was created because of George Bush. But you see things like this: severe, high, elevated, guarded, low. I remember when Fox News would come on, they would always have this thing, and it would either be elevated or it would be high. So, in being careful with what I'm saying, I'm not going to get into, and you guys know I would, but I'm not going to get into whether what happened with 9/11 and who was responsible. I have my opinions on it. Am I trusting of this government? Not necessarily. This is the same government that has lied to us time and time again about how our wars have started. Remember what happened even with Pearl Harbor. It was reported that Roosevelt and his administration knew that the Japanese were going to bomb Pearl Harbor or attack the United States. Documents that have come out. I'm seeing here Biden just declassified a September 11th document, a 16-page FBI report tying 9/11 hijackers to Saudi nationals living in the United States. And a document which was written in 2016 summarized an FBI investigation into those ties called Encore. I remember when the 9/11 families of 9/11 victims sought after the report, which painted a starkly different portrait than the one described by the 9/11 Commission report in 2004. It took over 2.5 years for them to do a 9/11 Commission report, whereas the Warren report, I believe it took less time than that. Warren Commission was released, I believe, in 1964, although we know the Warren Commission has a lot of holes in it. But it took over 2.5 years for them to do this. The review on Katrina didn't take this long. I'm sorry, hold on. I thought I was sharing the screen. Oh, that's not it. Let me share it. So, how we fight propaganda, and the media doesn't help with this stuff at all. We got to just realize who the talking heads are and to ignore them. Most people are not falling for this stuff. And I'm seeing fear propaganda even with regards to the jab. Now, I am not going to, and by that, I'm not a scientist. I am not clearly saying that it's wrong to do this or not. But just by the fact that I have to preface my comments to you about this in a way that I have to speak in code instead of speaking directly, because there's a fear that if I say the wrong thing, my channel will be removed and I will be suspended. And henceforth, I won't be able to make a living like I'm trying to do at this point. Isn't that messed up? Is this the country you want to live in? I want to live in the United States. I want to live in a place where I'm free, where there's freedom. That's what our Constitution was about. Freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom to practice the religion that you want, freedom to buy property, a right to privacy, a right to be safe in your own home and your own car from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. That's what we fought for. That's what my grandparents fought for. America, there are good people that work in government. I still think, despite its flaws, if I had to choose anywhere to live, probably America would still be number one for me. Because this is the only country I know that somebody can come from nothing and become a millionaire. I do know, of course, yes, racism and white supremacy are hampers to that. But, you know, I don't sit around, and I always call it out, but I don't sit around waiting on others to help me either. Because you're going to disappoint yourself if you do that. But how we fight this fear propaganda, Frank, because I see what you say, the American part is wicked. I mean, look, anywhere you go, any country, yeah, America has done a lot of wicked things, but any country we go to, like Tariq Nasheed says, it's been impacted by racism and white supremacy. There's no way we can go where we're not going to deal with it. But this government, yes, it's done some there have been some wicked things. They have lied to us about how even wars have started. I mean, Jesse Ventura talked about, and you can go look this up. Look up the Gulf of Tonkin incident. Gulf of Tonkin incident is what was the catalyst for the Vietnam War. And basically, a United States naval ship, the USS Maddox, was in a confrontation with the North Vietnamese. And they were performing signal interference patrol as part of their operations. And they claimed that they were approached by Navy torpedo boats sent by the North Vietnamese. And they attacked with boats, and they attacked the Maddox and so forth. And that was the catalyst that started the Vietnam War. And in a documentary in 2003 called The Fog of War, McNamara, who was the Secretary of Defense under John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson, he was a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army. He came out and admitted that the August 2nd USS Maddox attack happened with no Defense Department response, but then admitted that the August 4th Gulf of Tonkin attack did not happen. He met with former Vietnam People's Army. Let me share that with you because I'm reading directly from it. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is what the former Secretary of Defense said on public record. He said it on record. He says here, in 1995, McNamara met with with former Vietnam People's Army General Voi Nguyen to ask what happened on August 4th, 1964 in the second Gulf of Tonkin incident. And he said absolutely nothing. Giap complained, I'm butchering his name, I know, that the attack had been imaginary. So who made it up? So this was the first. Now, the first attack, okay, did happen. They were preparing to attack. The Maddox retreated that first day. But on August 2nd, Maddox, which had a top speed of 28 knots, resumed her routine patrol, and 3 North Vietnamese P-4 torpedoes with a top speed of 50 knots began to follow the Maddox. So, as the ship approached from the southwest, Maddox changed course from northeasterly to southeasterly and increased its speed to 25 knots. As the torpedo boats neared, Maddox fired 3 warning shots. The North Vietnamese boats then attacked, and Maddox radioed she was under attack from the 3 boats closing to within 10 nautical miles. But this is the so-called second alleged attack. And McNamara released this statement about it. At 1:27 Washington time, Henrik sent a cable in which he acknowledged that the second attack may not have happened, that there may actually have been no Vietnamese craft in the area. Review of action makes many reported contacts and torpedoes fired appear doubtful. Freak weather effects on radar and over-eager sonar men may have accounted for many reports. No actual visual sightings by Maddox suggest complete evaluation before any further action taken. So another Destro patrol off of the North Vietnamese coast was launched by Maddox and Turner Joy in order to show the flag after the first incident. This time their orders indicated that the ships were too close to no less than 11 miles from the coast of North Vietnam. During an evening and early morning of rough weather and heavy seas. The destroyers received radar, sonar, and radio signals that they believed signaled another attack by the North Vietnamese Navy. For some 4 hours, the ships fired on radar targets and maneuvered vigorously amid electronic and visual reports of enemies. Despite the Navy's claim that 2 attacking torpedo boats had been sunk, there was no wreckage, no bodies of dead sailors on North Vietnam's part, or other physical evidence present at the scene of the alleged engagement. McNamara is quoted saying, and ultimately it was concluded that almost certainly the August 4th attack had occurred. But even at that time, there was some recognition of a margin of error. So we thought it highly probable, but not entirely certain. And because it was highly probable, and because even if it hadn't occurred, there was strong feeling we should have responded to the first attack, which we were positive had occurred. President Johnson decided to respond to the second attack. So that's what was the catalyst for the Vietnam War. I think it is now clear the second attack did not occur. Well, so this is the catalyst. That was the catalyst that led to the Vietnam War, ladies and gentlemen. So you can go and read more. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But this was the catalyst that got 58,000 troops killed over in Vietnam and nearly 2 million Vietnamese killed. What's interesting about JFK and one of the theories about his assassination was that he was assassinated because he was planning to pull the troops out of Vietnam. And this was backed up by an executive order that he signed, where at that time when Kennedy was president, the United States had advisors. We did not have soldiers. And he was planning to do this. And he was also planning to break up the CIA. That was one of the reasons, another main reason. But there's a bunch of reasons. I mean, ultimately, they're all correct. If you look at it from, yes, he had beef with the mafia because his brother was going after going after the likes of, Jimmy Hoffa, who had ties to the mafia with the Teamsters, going after Carlos Marcello, who was basically he was the godfather here in New Orleans. Very powerful man. The Chicago outfit, the Sam Trafficanos, all of those guys. And those guys had helped Kennedy with the election. So what did happen ultimately, Kennedy goes to Dallas, and the Dallas oilmen did not like him either. Many people don't know this, but he actually, what Kennedy did, or some people will know this, he actually signed increased taxes on oil depletion. And so that was going to destroy the oil industry out in Texas. And they even had signs calling him, if you go to the Dallas Museum, I've been there before, the 6th floor museum, they actually had wanted for treason signs on JFK. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. And the Bay of Pigs fiasco, that was another thing. It was a whole bunch of things, guys. It wasn't just one person. Of course, there were multiple people involved. But that was one. That was one thing he was doing. But that was the wanted for treason posters that were being handed out. This is a website you can go to, JFK Murder Solved. This page crashed. So they're trying to reconstruct it. But yeah, but this is this website had a whole host of information on it. But Jim Garrison, who was the district attorney of New Orleans, my dad actually met him. But yeah, he was this policy initially sought to increase aid to South Vietnam, that was our allies, and Johnson reversed his exit strategy. Like a few days after the assassination. And what's interesting is that I think had he done that, we wouldn't have had Vietnam. Vietnam, it has been well speculated that it was linked to his murder, Vietnam. But you think about this too. At that time, in the 60s, all those assassinations you had, the assassination of JFK, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and then Bobby, all four of them had one thing in common. They were all opposed to the Vietnam War. Go look it up. Read a book by Jim DiEugenio called Assassinations. It's documented. Dick Gregory had his book. He had several books, but books he wrote with Mark Lane called Codename Zorro. Mark Lane actually wrote, was one of the first people to question the authenticity of the Warren Report. Mark Lane, he died not too long ago, but he was an attorney and author. He died back in 2016. He wrote Rush to Judgment. He wrote books on Vietnam. He did Vietnam war crimes investigations. He sued. He actually was involved in a lawsuit with E. Howard Hunt, who was a Watergate burglar, and he admitted being involved with the Kennedy assassination and did a quote unquote deathbed confession, although that's questionable. But I think he had some type of involvement in it. But yeah, y'all look this up. But to fight the fear propaganda is what we do now. We create new black media. We are continuing to push our stories and be boots on the ground for stuff like this. You know, Dick Gregory, he would always say, pray that the truth comes out. He didn't say get angry. Pray the truth comes out. He would do his investigations. He didn't let this stuff bother. Of course, it bothered him when the world was in trouble. He had the world on his back. But when you know stuff like this, you know your enemy. You know what you're fighting. You do that by talking to people like how I'm doing with you all. We come on here, we discuss what's going on, we talk events today. We like to laugh and do all kinds of other stuff. But we also know when to be serious. We also know when to do business, and that's something we've got to do. So how we fight fear propaganda, doing what we do now. Supporting new black media, coming on the TV, donating to the channels, also investigating on your own. You know, if you read the Bible, Jesus didn't worry about trying to change the government. He tried to change souls. Just think about it. All right, but that's all on that topic. I won't go any further, but I got to talk about propaganda. Time's up goes up in smoke. Yes, yes. Time's up, ladies and gentlemen. I've had my issues with Time's Up, and you know why. But Time's Up has dissolved its entire board. Uh, Shonda Rhimes. I had the article here. Shonda Rhimes and Drake Smollett, Reese Witherspoon, and a few other individuals have resigned, especially as it was proven that the president of Time's Up at that time was helping Andrew Cuomo with regards to discrediting his alleged accusers in his impeachment scandal, or I should say sexual harassment scandal that was going on out in New York. And I see here, and I want to post the article. I'm having a little difficult time posting the articles, but because they are actually on, let me just show you all what's going on. So when I go up to Time's Up resignation, I want y'all to look at this. I click on, and this is part of propaganda. I want you to look at this stuff, okay? I'm on Google. I probably will have to share the link again, but I tried to go on the New York Times. I tried to go on Vulture. And I keep getting, that's Tina Twin, who resigned from Time's Up because she advised Como on his misconduct. But when I try and go on Vulture to talk about the resignations or the cut, let's try to cut. You see, it's New York. It says I reached my limit. Same thing with Vulture. If I go there, it says I reached my limit. So you can't even look this stuff up. But the entire board of Time's Up has resigned. And that includes Reese Witherspoon, Shonda Rhimes. I believe Eva Longoria was also a part of it. She resigned as well. Sorry about that. I'm texting my friend. I got a text alert. I'm just responding to. But yeah, all these people these celebrities that have resigned, they're saying it was plagued with problems since the beginning. Their job trying to make things better. But I mean, look, their previous president had resigned because her son was accused of sexual misconduct. The problem with all of these things, and my issues with them, is that groups like Time's Up and Me Too, which Time's Up grew up out of the Me Too movement. They all seem to have come and still focus on an emotional. They're all of these groups are focused on emotions. If you looked at them carefully, not facts. Yeah, a lot of you said they know it was a scam. Yeah, a lot of the shit is a scam. Don't get, I've always talked about what happened with Bill Cosby. I won't go into further with that, but Bill Cosby, what's happened with Russell Simmons, Michael Jackson, Oprah Winfrey, I believe, was part of all of this at one time, and now they have egg on their face because all of them have had their hand in the cookie jar. Remember when Julie Chen was talking crap about Camille Cosby? Those vultures on the talk, those cackling ducks were dissing Mrs. Cosby. And then we find out Julie Chen's husband was doing the same damn thing that Cosby was accused of. Roberta Kaplan resigned from her post. Yeah, the entire board of Time's Up resigned. They're in turmoil right now. Janae Smollett stepped down. But look what Ava put. It's okay to make mistakes in the efforts to topple the patriarchy. What's the problem with patriarchy? Okay, this is problematic from the beginning. What do you mean by patriarchy? Patriarchy, just like matriarchy, basically means a society of government in which the men hold, in which the father or eldest male is the head of the family. Matriarchy, which is vice versa, is when the women hold the power. Matriarchy, like the Queen of England making the decisions. You're trying to topple the patriarchy like men are the problem. What the hell does this even mean? I'm not saying that there isn't sexism in them. Don't get me wrong. Of course, there's sexism in this country. I thought, but your efforts to topple the patriarchy, I thought this was about helping women who have been assaulted somehow. They did more than make mistakes. This was a clusterfuck. It's okay to make mistakes in the efforts to topple the patriarchy. Mistakes will be made. It doesn't mean the effort should stop. We have to continue. We've been under thousands of years of a patriarchal society. It's not going to topple in the 3 years that Time's Up has existed. We have so much work to be done. What they're talking about, guys, is not equality when she makes this point. What she wants is a complete matriarchy. They want the men neutered. This is the same Ava Longoria. I'm making that jump. This is the same Ava Longoria that wanted to say that it was the Latino voters, the Latinas, that got Joe Biden in office, when we all know that was bullshit. Black people put Biden in office, and unfortunately, it's black people that have remorse, buyer's remorse. Because you notice when all this stuff was going on, when they were running and souls to the polls and the Boule crowd were going all the way up to the voters' booths with their pictures, you notice how they've been absolutely silent in the last few months since Biden's, his crimes bills came up, his COVID-19 crimes bills have come forward. Not to mention also, when you've asked for stuff for black people, what has happened? We've gotten absolutely nothing but a Juneteenth holiday symbolism. The George Floyd Policing Act's never been passed, neither has the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. Of course, they got a lot of hidden stuff in those bills and a lot of LGBTQ stuff in it. Oh, but they're going to fight for that. You cannot trust these celebrities. Time's up and was right. Your time is up. You got exposed for being hypocrites. There goes their money. Yeah, all of these people that were up there pushing for liberalism, pushing for the liberals, they've had to step down now. Because they don't want to look like hip fools, but it's too little too late. Our justice system, the problem with this, and I'm not saying, of course, you can't make ventures that you can't support certain groups. Absolutely, that's your right. But when you're talking about criminal stuff that happens, especially if you're talking about accusing someone of doing something so dastardly, that is where our justice system plays a fat role in. That is for the justice system to decide, not the court of public opinion. It is the court of law that decides the guilt or innocence of a person. And they do it based off the evidence. We have laws and rules in place right now that's supposed to protect, or that do protect, women and minorities. Now, the question is, are those laws being enforced properly? I can tell you this much: when we talk about hiring women, black people don't benefit as much as white women. They don't benefit from affirmative action. That benefits white females now, thanks to Title IX. LGBTQ, they're getting more. LGBTQ, illegal immigrants. Hell, these groups from these refugees from Afghanistan that are here in the United States now, they're getting monies. Asians are replacing blacks. Biden just said himself that, when he was talking to these not congressional black caucus, but these so-called black leaders and elders, he said, look, you guys are going to be forced out when the Hispanic community comes. You got to better work with them. America will no longer be a majority white nation. He said this. But we have people that still defended Biden. There's a reason why the Me Too movement has lost steam, and it's because of stuff like this. People are tired of having agendas forced down their throats. People are tired of the propaganda. I know some of you all, a lot of people, I'm losing some viewers. That's why I started earlier, because I knew Professor Jason Black's show was going to be starting at 7 o'clock, and it's 7:26 now. Yeah. Well, I don't know about him being the enemy, brother, because there were people that still voted for Trump, and I think Trump was better than Biden, and I'm being real when I say that, because at least I knew where his heart stood. I knew where he stood. He was like a hurricane I could avoid. I couldn't vote for Joe Biden based off of what he did and said in the past. Actually, what he did as a senator, and I thought he wasn't going to do shit as president. I don't think he was a great. He hasn't. It's like I said before. It's almost like having Lloyd. It's like having Lloyd Bridges from Hot Shots as president. Yeah, a lot of people saying that they regret voting for Biden, especially this thing that happened in Afghanistan. How that happened. We got 11 people in the building. We got people here. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, get that notification bell if you're here. Yeah, man. I probably. Yeah, and exactly. Frank is laughing, but it is. It's like having him. They even have videos. Go look on YouTube. I can't play it because of copyrights, but go look on YouTube. Look up Hot Shots Part 2, and they have videos comparing him, Lloyd Bridges' character from Hot Shots when he was the admiral and president, to Joe Biden. All right. Final topic. I guess you want to call this a lighter note. Did y'all see this? All right. Look what TMZ wrote. Russell Westbrook and Kid Cudi rocking skirts for a New York fashion. I don't know what the W stands for. That's Kid Cudi. This is the one who said shit about people who support Bill Cosby are fucking nuts or something along those lines. And this motherfucker, he's gone retro Rodman. Look how he's looking. I remember when Kid Cudi was the one that came out in a dress saying he wanted to honor Kurt Cobain. No, nigga, you was trying to show your Cobain. You want to be in Cobain. I don't support these. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. But yeah, he's Fruity Pebble. I love, and Russell Westbrook, one of the greatest basketball players I've ever seen. Great basketball player. And he's worn stuff like this before. I've seen him wearing them tight pants. Something happened. And brother, shout out to Dwan B, because he said this even about Cam Newton. Something happened after that Super Bowl because we saw Cam going metrosexual with them tight ass leather pants. He had those church lady hats. He comes to the podiums dressed up like Whitney Houston from The Bodyguard. Yeah, I can hear I'm Every Woman playing behind him. Hold on. But look at this shit. He says, don't address me unless it's with 4 letters. Quoting Kendrick Lamar. F-U-C-K. That's my 4 letters. Now that's Kid Cudi. Oh, Lord. It's bad enough the music sucks. You got to look at him in a freaking skirt. I don't listen to. I'll be honest with you. The mumble rappers, the things that are out now. Yeah, this is when he came out with that dress, and he had the nerve to call and check out people that were defending an elder who was in prison wrongfully for 3 years, calling us fucking stupid. But you out bussied out and shit for kids to see you like this. And listen, I'm trying to preface my comments because I don't want anybody to think I want to bully people who are LGBTQ. Listen, I have had colleagues, I have clients that I've represented who are LGBTQ. I've met, I meet people all the time. I know that sounds cliche, like you say, oh, I got a black friend. Well, it's true. Having said all of that, I don't support. Having said all of that, just because you do something doesn't mean that that's something for me that I have to accept. Now you look and read what TMZ, and I'm going to see who wrote this article. They don't ever post the names of who writes these articles, but what they have here, he states here, no shame for either of these dudes, but of course, some folks online were expressing their disapproval for a myriad of reasons. Some folks are showing their homophobic colors outright, and others are invoking conspiracy theories talking about the emasculation of men, etc. And then there are those who absolutely love this. So a mixed bag of reactions here. All the same, Russ and Kid are owning it. Okay, let me call this fool out on something. All right, because somebody disagrees with something doesn't mean that they're homophobic. When you say automatically, when you say homophobic colors, what you're already doing is throwing out a word so that you can dissuade the conversation into one thing and say, well, it's just coming off as hate speech without dealing with the real issue. I don't know any man or no men when I was coming up that would wear dresses and skirts. If you did, it was something that was laughable if you did it as a joke or you were gay. That's what a lot of people, my generation, when we were growing up, that's what we thought. Something was wrong with you. That's why when you saw comedians like Flip Wilson or Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, and even Robin Williams to a degree when he did Mrs. Doubtfire, it was a joke. It was something that was funny. You didn't take it seriously. Men didn't go around wearing skirts and dresses and shit or have eyeliner. I didn't believe this stuff. I didn't believe we could get to this point. But that was something that was laughable. When Flip Wilson played Geraldine, when Martin Lawrence did Shanae or Mama Payne, Jamie Foxx when he did Wanda. I used to laugh at that stuff. And I know people say, well, the agenda and so forth, black men putting them in dresses. Yeah, I think there's an agenda clearly with that. And the person who wrote this, they are the ones basically telling you there's an agenda because look how he writes this. You're coming out with these words, making these remarks. They don't post what the comments were, by the way, or who said what. But you know good and damn well men don't go out wearing this stuff. Why are you guys even, look what you say here, new trend emerging. So by that meaning, when you say a new trend, this was something that was by its very definition never trending. Jennifer said she hopes her husband ain't a cross dresser. No, well, I won't say there aren't white men who haven't worn dresses like that because and this was one of the reasons why I stopped doing the, I'll post the link here so you guys can have it if you want to read TMZ. But I remember when I was a part of a rally for Alton Sterling, BLM was a part of that. One of the reasons why I got out of BLM, and I've done videos on it, was that as I'm sitting in this meeting, we were going to go out and help people who were going to get arrested, for protesting, things of that nature. I didn't mind volunteering my time for that. But during the meeting, it talked to the people who were presenting this stuff. We're talking about, well, if someone gets arrested, and let's say when the police come out, that person is a queer gender or a transgender, and she has to be put in a male facility, or he has to be put in a male prison. I'm listening to this, and they're talking about this for about 5-10 minutes. And I'm seeing this all come up, and I want to say something, but I'm like, what the hell am I a part of? I saw a dude, I saw some of the dudes out there wearing dresses. Well, at least one white boy I saw walk in wearing a full-on dress and had earrings like a woman. And truth be told, they try so hard to look like women, but women don't even act like the way they act. It's a caricature of women. Well, yeah, we were kids when all that stuff came on. Remember, In Living Color was the first black, I'm not going to say it's the first black sketch show, but it was the first all black, predominantly black sketch show on a major network. Although Fox at that time was still a fledgling network, we never saw anything like that. But In Living Color made fun of everybody. They made fun of black people. They made fun of white people. They made fun of LGBTQ, where they had men on films. I used to laugh at this shit a lot. I'm Blaine Edwards and I'm Antoine Merriweather, and welcome to Men on Films. As we show, I'm trying to think of the catchphrase from a male point of view. I have a film I'm interested in waiting to see. Great Balls of Fire. I ain't gonna touch it, but the title alone gets 2 snaps up. I laughed wholeheartedly at stuff like that. When Martin did Shanae, oh my goodness. Martin, I didn't know. Remember that episode where Martin had blurted out what Pam's secret was to get a promotion, how she would dress sexy at work. So she revealed that secret, even though he was sworn to secrecy by Gina not to. And everybody knew. And then to make it up to him, he announced that he wanted to sleep with his neighbor Shanae before he met Gina. And Shanae came out at the end of the episode. They made up with each other. And Shanae comes out and said, Martin, I didn't know. Come on over. Like, I still laugh at that. I'm not going to lie to you. I think a lot of people, especially even though the Hoteps, people who despise, the men wearing drag and so forth, I'm sure we still watch BET. We still watch Martin, episodes of Martin, although some of it was niggerish and buffoonery. I remember when Shanae want to date with Kid, that had me rolling. That shit, that it was him. I mean, all the characters Martin played were great, but I loved when it was either Dragonfly Jones or Officer Otis that would come out that he would do. Like when Officer Otis did the witness protection for Pam and Gina. I mean, we laughed at all that stuff. Remember, Martin even did a white guy, the white boy called Bob. Gina's going crazy. Pam's going crazy. This whole party has gone crazy. Yeah, I laughed at that, man. That was funny. That was real comedy. That was comedy. Martin and Living Color, those guys put Jerome, yeah. Those guys put Fox on the map. New York Undercover. Even though we know New York Undercover, we know that Milk Yogurt has gone Bussy himself. But Brother Westbrook, and I could expect, and I've seen Westbrook wearing this stuff before. I didn't see him wearing a skirt. I've seen him wearing tight pants and stuff and jeans, looking all metrosexual. I've seen that. I've never seen him wear a full-on skirt. But I don't know what is up with brother men. This is Cam Newton. And Cam Newton has not been the same since. He got cut from the team. This would be perfect to play I Will Always Love You, but I'm going to get a copyright strike by Sony. Like, really? Look at this. Lord. And I will always love you. I will always love you. Doing the saxophone. I will always love you. I will always. You're absolutely right, Bishop. After Fox got big, they dropped those black programs, dropped them like hotcakes. I remember when they had Rock. Now, Rock was a strong black man, even though he was a garbage man. Rock has some great episodes. When he was dealing with the drug dealer played by Clifton Powell. He loved tried to better his community, his neighborhood. I remember a classic episode when his brother Joey was house sitting for a friend in a white neighborhood, and Rock was doing some painting, and he got stopped by the police, and the police nearly killed him. Yeah, that's his hairdo. But I remember that episode of Rock. I've seen, so I remember stuff like that. But to see Black men, for whatever reason, and clearly, I know for a fact this writer is probably taking shots at the black community because it's black men who would mostly black men that would comment negatively. Black people would comment negatively on something like this. All right, and I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen next. A good thing for Russell Westbrook, the Lakers will end up winning the championship next year because Adam Silver will see to it since he's full on embracing the agenda. Yes, it will happen. Yes, I'm confident they're gonna win the They're gonna win the NBA. It's bound to happen. It will not be Golden State. It will be the Golden Art. It will be the Golden Weight. Yes. It'll not the Golden State Warriors. It'll be the Golden State Showers. Yes. The Golden Showers will win. That's what the new team is going to needs to be called. Golden Showers. Yeah, when he lost to Peyton. I remember when Peyton Manning walked off the field when the Saints beat him in the Super Bowl. I remember Belichick walking off when the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. A lot of those guys, people look up to them, but they can't take it when the roles are reversed. They do the complete opposite. They can dish it, but they can't take it. I don't know what you mean, butterflies. What's that? Where they spent 2 months together in the locker room? Well, remember the Broncos beat the crap out of the Carolina Panthers in that Super Bowl. I think it was Super Bowl 50. That's when Peyton retired. But yeah, this is a damn shame. What is the deal? I I can't keep that picture. Kid cut his picture right to the right says it all. Ah, I like Russell Westbrook too as a basketball player, but man, but I I'd rather this. It's corny and goofy, but fine. He's got the Sally Jesse Raphael glasses on. Maybe that was a hint. My gosh, Russell. First Russell Simmons, now Russell Westbrook. Damn, all these Russells getting in trouble. Ugh. He's married. His wife. That's his wife. That's Russell Westbrook's wife. She's gorgeous. Wonder what she thinks. And that's their family. Oh, beautiful kid, beautiful family. That's him there. He's trying to look 90-ish. Yeah, man. I like stuff like this. Okay, that's great. That's beautiful there. But this, how much they paid you? All right. Well, she's a beautiful woman. His wife is beautiful. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, he got a beautiful family. But with your son, I mean, one day his kids are going to look at that. Like his sons are going to look at that. Like, Dad. You know, I believe it was Angela Bassett, who's a great actress. She once said she's careful about the roles that she takes in film and footage because she knows that print is forever. When you die and you're an actor or actress, anything that you've done in your past, people can look at in the future. So she's cautious, or she was cautious about the roles that she takes. I know she's done some stuff recently, even to the extent I think she did something with Lady Gaga in the American Horror Story. She's been in that on that show. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is with with them trying to get men in dresses and skirts, but I will not be wearing one. I can just put it to you like that. So if you still got an old pair of jeans, men, keep it because eventually it may get rid of those. All right, guys, that's it for me. I spent a little more time than I wanted on this, but thank you all for keeping and tuning in. This has been a great edition of Gavin Richard Presents on channel GBoo2786 on Gavin Richard on both YouTube and Facebook, and on Gavin Rich 2786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Again, I will see you all in the next one. If you would like to advertise, please look no further than hitting up my email address at gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. You can also subscribe to the Patreon if you'd like to check out the Patreon, and hit me up there if you want to support my content for only $5 a month. That would be great. Jennifer, you said that Angela, I'm just reading this comment. Angela Bassett and Vanessa Williams refused Monsters Ball for a reason. Yes, absolutely. They did. Angela Bassett did turn that down. But remember, yeah, Angela Bassett did do, I saw the movie she just did called Powder Gun Milkshake. And they kind of hinted that her character was in some type of relationship with a woman, the main character's mother, actually. Yes, thank you, Danielle. You be safe and be blessed, dear. But Angela Bassett, other than that, I've never seen her in anything terrible. You know, if any propaganda she may have been in was what's love got to do with it. But that's the role she's most familiar with audiences, playing Tina Turner in that film. But, you know, there was a lot of liberties they took in that movie. A lot of people don't know that, or it came out much later after Ike Turner even died. But that role was something else. Check out Video Soul. That is the new single that I have out, available on iTunes. We also have our seasoning company, Trying on Chicken, Meat, or Fish. Nani's goes great with every dish. That's naniscreoleblends.com. We'll see you all in the next one. Thank you to my 1,000 plus subscribers. We keep growing each day, and more to come. And I will see you on Tuesday, and I'll see what we'll do. I'm trying to get another guest on the show. Shout out, I got to do a special shout out to this brother because he linked up with me. I hit him up, and I was introduced through him actually from watching and doing, my sit down with Nicole last week. Dennis Bryan. Dennis he actually works for TMZ. That's interesting. I wonder how that's going to work out when he sees this. But he's the editor-in-chief of Hip Hop Inquirer magazine, 32 years as a photographer, and he's won an award for Outstanding Award in Media, author of the book Behind the Lines. But I reached out to this brother, and he followed me back. And let me pull him up because I want you all to follow him too. But he's been following the R. Kelly trial and what I may do. And he's actually been one of the few that have looked at it from a perspective, a fair perspective. Media is supposed to be split down the middle. It's not supposed to take sides. It is supposed to be unbiased. And I want you all to go to his Twitter if you can right now. I'm going to share it. Please subscribe to his Twitter right there, Mr. Dennis Byron, Mr. Dennis Byron. Shout out to him. I'm looking forward to having him come on to the channel, hopefully. So shout out to him. But guys, that has been it for me. But look at the comments too, and you can read the list of what he said on R. Kelly and the trial. But guys, shout out to you all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I will see you all in the next one. Again, it has been a blessing. I will holla. Peace out. So, of course, let's go ahead and get on up. Good night, guys.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we're going. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll feel the groove. Get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Gotta get on. Come on, baby. Gotta get on. Baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Guys, before I go, I'd also like to wish a very happy birthday to Mr. Lawrence Brooks. Lawrence Brooks turned 112 years old. He's actually the United States' oldest military veteran. Shout out to you, Mr. Lawrence Brooks. Happy birthday to you, sir. I forgot to do that, but yeah, 112 years old. Shout out to him, family, from New Orleans. Give him a round of applause in the chat. Also, the VMAs are tonight. I see that they suck already, and I haven't even watched it. All right, guys, good night. That's it for me. All right, what's up, Rashana? I'll talk to y'all on Tuesday.